It's cybersecurity platform. It protects our data.
It's an email security tool basically.
It's email analysis tool.
Email
It's an
analysis.
email protection tool where it will be handled the incoming and outgoing of the emails. Most probably, outgoing email will be configured on the proofing to save our data.
Okay, well and good. So basically, most of the times, so what will happen is all about, okay, so industry, every company will be having their own email gateway solution, right? So they'll be having their own email gateway solution, their own firewalls will be having, they'll be having their own infrastructure part. So likewise, okay, this particular proof point, which acts as an email gateway, okay, so it's just like an entry and exit channel for your particular home. Okay, so what will happen? So if you are placing a CC camera at the entry and exit channel of your home, all the incoming and outgoing will be recorded, right? So who all the persons who enters your home, who all will leave from your home, okay, everyone can be recorded at that particular moment, right? So that is the reason. So what will happen? Gateway acts as an entry and exit channel. Okay, this particular proof point is also one such email security solution. Okay, so which acts as an entry channel for a typical all the incoming and outgoing emails, right? For all the incoming and outgoing emails, they act like an entry channel. So for this particular proof point, why are we discussing the proof point itself? Any guess? Why should we learn this particular proof point?
For email alerts and phishing.
Okay. Why should we learn?
To secure our email.
No, sir. My question is, that's well and good. Why company uses, you're right. But why we should learn?
It's a widely used tool.
Okay, correct answer. So what we do most of the times, so this particular proof point is a one such widely and popular used gateway solution, okay, in different companies. So that is the reason most of the times, remember guys, okay, we want to keep our particular profiles in an impressive manner by showcasing all these different tools and technologies. Okay, so sometimes some of the tools and technologies you mentioned, okay, you might not be having access in your typical real-time company also, because in one of the company I worked, I have only the viewer access for this particular proof point. That too, they have given us for last 6 months to 1 year, right? So prior to that particular company, they haven't given me the access because that is not required for the particular thing. But yes, we used to work on all the proof point related work and the proof point related alerts and all. We used to work on that particular part. So that is the reason most of the times, okay, so what you can do is you can just tell them proof point game gateway solution, okay, is not a directly tool which will be managed by the SOC team. Okay, this tool will be totally handled by the email security team, where a dedicated team will be there to maintain all these different things. Okay, so well, coming back to this particular proof point, okay, before jumping into this particular part, okay, let's have a simple company architecture, okay, so that we'll come to know where this particular solution will be placed. What is this device, guys?
On-prem server.
Fire.
Okay, well and good. So why are we placing over here? Any guess? Any guess? Pin drop silence. Come on, guys. You have read about all these things, and now if you're not answering means what I can say.
Which one you are asking about?
So
The
why are we
gateway.
placing the email server in this particular DMZ? What is your DMZ first?
We are placing it into DMG because it's a public interfacing, like email and all, like it's on the public, right?
Okay.
So whatever like things which is like access from the public network or internet, like that is the recommended like way to put
Why?
that
Why?
thing
Why
into
we should
DMG.
place? Even though if it is public facing, why should we place in the DMG? Why can't we keep it over here?
Because that will like provide us more security, like in terms of if we put inside like our network, like local area network, then like the traffic, public internet traffic will be moving towards the local area network, where like our everything reside, like application database. So that then there will be more chances to come inside by hacker, like attacker, to insert into. So that's what we keep it into DMZ. So that type of traffic is like moving into DMG to public internet interface, like public interface basically. So for basically like isolating the traffic, public traffic. Uh,
Okay, well and good. So basically, why we place these kind of public facing servers in the DMZ? Why? Because we don't want to give the access to the particular attacker very easily. These are all the public facing in the sense. So what we do? So more oftenly, so what we do? Email. Okay, so any of our typical user can send a typical email to this particular servers, right? So they can send this particular thing. So what will happen? So most of the times, so this public facing should not be like, even though if this email server get compromised, okay, even though if the email server get compromised, all those servers which are there in the DMZ might get affected. Okay, but our internal servers, just like HRMS or DNS or DHCP and all other different things, will be in a safe and secured manner. Okay, so they don't get compromised in that particular part. So that is the reason. So what will happen is all about, most of the times these public facing will be placed in this particular DMZ. Okay, even though if it get compromised, no problem, who cares about it, right? We care, but in that particular part we want to secure our internal network. That is how this particular thing will work. So in the next point, prior jumping into this particular proof point concept, let's discuss few of the other entities related to this particular email, right? So for example, what will happen? There are two different users of our company called as Raju and Ram, and they belong to a typical, and our company name is called as KitKat. Not the chocolate ones which most of you eat. Okay, this is our company. So what we do is, in this particular KitKat company, okay, for example, everyone knows that there will be a dedicated mailbox assigned. For example, okay, for example, when a new user has been joining a typical company, okay, so his login credentials will be given, correct? So there will be a dedicated account given for that typical users, and that is a normal part. In the similar manner, don't you think like a mailbox will be created in the particular user's name? Yes or no? When a new employee joins an organization, okay, his account will be created, right? His domain account will be created. He'll be having his own domain account, a default password will be given. So he'll be able to log into his particular laptop or a desktop. So likewise, don't you think like a mailbox should be assigned in that particular user's name?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Why it should be assigned?
Like it's a domain, separate domain. It is maybe.
No, my question is, don't you think like in your mailbox, okay, a dedicated space should be given in your name or not?
Yeah, they are assigning the data.
yeah, it's given, of course.
All right. So why it will be given? Because you for sending and receiving of a typical email, there should be some space to store that particular thing, right? So that is the reason a mailbox will be given in your name. For example, when you go to a typical Google server, okay, so Google knows that most of 90% of the people will be having your own Google accounts, right? So what will happen? So when you go to this particular Gmail, okay, so when you create your typical user account, so anyone observed in the left hand side, they are given some space like a 15 GB or 12 GB of space will be allocated. It will be showing like the moment you add more and more files, it will be telling like that there is a space exhaustion happening and all. Anyone observed these things, or there is a limit for storage in your Gmail accounts? Anyone knows that?
Yeah, there is a limit, of
Yes.
course.
Yes, 15
Right?
GB.
What will happen? Those 15 GB, okay, in the server of a typical Google will be allocated in your name. That is what the thing which will be given by this particular Gmail server. So likewise, even in your companies also, so what they will have, what they will do is just like they create your domain accounts in a similar manner, they are going to allocate some space in your mailbox also. So what they will do, okay, so they're going to allocate 15 GB or 10 GB of space in your typical mailboxes. Okay, so for example, most of the times, so what we do, okay, when Raju wants to send an email, okay, Raju at kitkat.com. Okay, so what will happen? So if when Raju wants to send an email, okay, so what will happen? First, it will go to the Raju's mailbox itself into the sent items. Correct. So most of us, when you're sending out an email, it will be going into the sent item box, and in the sent items, the mail copy will be stored over there itself. From there, it will try to relocate. Okay, they are negotiating at who is the sender. Okay, if the sender is ram at kitkat.com, so what it will think, okay, so anyhow the user is our guy, okay, is in our network itself, we can locate where the user is and we can send it down, right? That is the actual process. Okay, so in this particular part there are three different components. Okay, so not three, there are more than 4 or 5 are there. Okay, so even I never try to understand like the rest other two because it's of nothing much important. Okay, these three are very much important while you're speaking in terms of your email sending and receiving. Mailbox, TX is a transport, and edge. Okay, mailbox, you know that it is a dedicated space. TX is a particular component, okay, which acts in terms of traveling or traversing the mail from one point to another. For example, I can say if you install the Google application, okay, you know what these add-ons are, right? Know about the add-ons that are present in your typical Google applications and all. What are these add-ons? Plugins? Anyone heard of plugin?
Like we can able to install third parties things like that.
Plugin. Have you used any plugins or viewed the plugin in your particular Google Chrome application? File extensions? Anyone aware of it or not, guys?
Yeah, we have the pop-up blocker and all.
Correct. So we use some of the file extensions, some of the application viewers, and some of the website visitings, and we all use this particular plugins kind of thing. Just like that, TX is also a kind of another plugin that comes with a typical mailbox. Okay, what it does, let's look into it. For example, when a typical user like Raju at kitkat.com try to send an email, okay, of course, in the Raju's mailbox in the sent item folder, the mail will be stored. So then after, when you look at a recipient, okay, it says something at surya at shockexpress.com. Then what they will do, this particular transport will think like, okay, I may not be able to reach out to this particular sockexpress.com. Why? Because in this entire network, SockExperts is not there, correct? Because it all about kitkat.com. So then what it will does, this particular transport, okay, will send this particular email, or it will reroute towards this particular edge server. Okay, as the name itself will says that edge. Okay, edge in a sense, it's a last point for this particular thing, right? In a similar manner, what this edge will route, edge will think, okay, so if you are sending out a mail to surya at sockexpress.com, so it will try to relocate where is the nearest sockexpert server. Okay, email server is there. Okay, then what will happen from this particular email server, okay, to try to locate next nearest server. From that server, it will try to relocate where is the sockexpert's email server. It will send it to sockexpert's email server, and sockexpert's email server will try to relocate where is Surya, who is one of our user. From there, it will be sending out the typical email, right? So that is the reason what will happen. Edge acts like a last hand for your company network. Okay, so whenever you want to send an email to any outsider, to your Gmail accounts, to your personal accounts, to your SOCexpress.com accounts, to any other accounts apart from your company, this edge acts like a last hand for your typical company network. It will try to relocate where is your typical server and send that particular email to there. So that's why edge is required. TX is mainly required for your internal communication, right? So what will happen from Raju to Ram? Okay, Raju at kitkat.com tries to send an email to Ram at kitkat.com. Okay, so at that particular moment, so what will happen? This TX will act like a bridge between both of them, and it will try to relocate where is our user called as Ram, and we can just send on the particular email to the ram at kitkat.com. That is how the entire communication will happen, or when a mail communication will happen. So then after, so what will happen in this particular picture, gateway or email gateway acts like an entry and exit channel, right? So this particular edge will be placed in your gateway solution itself. Okay, so what will happen for all the incoming and outgoing, gateway will deploy or it will apply some set of conditions, right? Don't you think like, so most of the times, so if you're entering to any parliament, or if you're entering to what we call government secured buildings and all, for an entry, okay, there will be some certain level of checks will happen. Why will that particular happen? The check will happen even though if they are public visited buildings, they're going to do these kind of different check, because if you're carrying any sort of bomb, if you're carrying any sort of ammunitions, to avoid them, they're going to do the check. Likewise, gateway or email gateway is also a one such solution, okay, or one such entry channel solution. So where, so most of the times it monitors all the incoming and outgoing emails for any sort of malicious thing. Okay, let's look deeper in this particular gateway solution, how and where these different check will happen, right? So prior jumping in, let me showcase this particular ones also. Okay, so this is what we call as understanding the email flow. That means whenever there is a typical mail that is trying to enter your company network, what are the different check it should happen? Any guess, guys? What sort of different check it has to happen?
Domain name check, SPF check, DKIM, DMARC, etc.
Okay, good try. Apart from that,
We will be
Email
alerting like
attachment
external
check.
email we received.
Email attachment check, if there any URL in the inside the email body, then that check also happened.
okay, well and good. Apart from that,
IP address.
correct. Then
We can check the reputation of IP using threat intelligence vendor, and
okay, well and good. So what it's all about is basically when there is a internal email that is coming towards you, okay, it will undergo several different layers of check. Okay, so you're able to see the screen, right? Once that is marked in this particular highlighted ones, okay, it says what are the different levels of filtering option it will happen, right? So IP reputation check, attachment defense, antivirus scanning, anti-spoofing, filters, anti-spam, and URL defense scan and rewrites. Okay, so all these different check it will happen. Okay, that's why it is named as inbound mail flow. Inbound mail flow in the sense when someone is sending a mail towards your company, okay, what will happen? You might be wondering. Okay, so sometimes anyone explains you these things also. Okay, so immediately when you try to send an email to your company, for example, Surya at cognizant.com, okay, Suryavir at accenture.com. Okay, if you send any email to this particular thing, you don't receive the particular email in a very fraction of seconds. Okay, it will take some around 40 seconds, 50 seconds, sometimes 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Then you will be receiving a particular email. Right. Most of the times you would have these things would have most of you encountered also. Right. So what we do, you just so what you will do over there in that particular platform, sometimes there is a lag in receiving the email. Anyone observe these things? When you try to send an email from Gmail to your office emails, there is a delay in receiving, right? Why? Because beyond that particular thing, most of the times all these different check will be happening at your email gateway solutions, right? It has to go through some several tests, then only the mail will be allowed to receive at a typical user's account. Okay, so in this particular part, okay, so what we do, the very first part is all about IP reputation check. What is IP reputation check, or what is proof point dynamic reputation? Okay, there is something called as RBL. Anyone heard of it, guys?
No.
Okay, RBL stands for real time blacklist. What is this real time blacklist? What will happen? For example, most of the times when you visit any sort of threat intel platform, okay, there will be blacklisting some typical senders of the email, or else it might be domain and all. On what basis? Someone would have mark them as malicious due to their malicious behavior and all. So even over here, RBL is nothing but real-time blacklist. What is the meaning of real-time? You and SOC experts, okay, so we get blacklisted sometimes, okay, in terms of real-time blacklist. How means every time when there is a new batch announcement, every time when there is a new batch announcement, so what will happen? We'll be pumping out hundreds of email to different aspirants who want to change, or who want to get enrolled, or for the particular persons and all. At that particular moment, these different threat intel platforms, they think like, okay, why sockexperts.com is pumping out hundreds of email, let us blacklist them. Okay, so they'll be blacklisting us for one particular amount of time and all. So then after 30 days, okay, so we'll not be sending any of the different emails, because the batch has been announced and the batch will be up and running, and we haven't started any new batch, so no need to just send out another emails and all. So what we do, so we keep quiet for next 30 days. Okay, so then what will happen automatically, so our sockexperts.com will again fall under clean list. Okay, that's how the RBL works, guys. Most of the times RBL stands for, if you are acting maliciously right now, we are putting into the jail. So then after you are behaving correctly in the jail and all, we release you, and then you can you can act like a good citizen of a typical like a society. You can live in harmony. Okay, likewise RBL or real-time blacklist mainly works on top of, if you are behaving maliciously as of now, they're going to blacklist you, or else you appears to be clean. Correct. So let me show that one also, how this particular thing will work. Okay, you can see over here, so emails hitting proof point spam traps, emails being reported as spam, IPs in bulk ranges are sending the spam. Okay, at all these different condition. Okay, so what they will do, they're going to mark them as blacklisted. Okay, it's just like one other threat intel platform. Okay, so real time blacklist. So the why the word is called real time, if you are behaving maliciously as of now, you are malicious. Afterwards you are appearing to be clean, because that is the reason it acts like a real time. How you behave right now, it depends on top of all those different things.
What is this
But
PDR?
sorry, yes, this
What
is
is
the PDR
PDR?
itself.
What?
Proof point dynamic reputation. Proof point dynamic reputation works on top of RBL.
RPL.
RBL,
Sir, once
real-time
again,
blacklist.
repeat RPL once.
Okay. Proof point dynamic reputation. Okay, this particular thing will mainly works on top of RBLs. Okay, so proof point dynamic reputation. Why is the word called as a dynamic reputation? What is the meaning of dynamic?
Yeah, it will be adding and removing like
It keeps on
sometime
changing.
it will keep changing.
Okay, the word is dynamic is nothing but equal to keeps on changing. Keep on changing reputation. That means if you are acting maliciously right now, okay, so you will be put into jail. Okay, then after certain amount of time, your period is over. Then you're appearing or behaving cleanly, so you'll be allowed you to live in harmony back in the society. Correct? That's how it works in your typical society. Just like that, proof point dynamic reputation in the sense, okay, so if the particular domain or if the sender of the typical email has been blacklisted, okay, has been came under this particular PDR, that means they are malicious right now. That doesn't mean they are permanently blacklisted. They might come or they might fall under a clean ones also after a certain amount of time. So that is the reason proof point dynamic reputation, okay, mainly works on top of RBLs, real time blacklist. Okay, so the best example, try to remember this example, how this particular PDR works. Okay, for example, so sockexpress.com will send an email to Accenture. Okay, surya at accenture.com. Right? So what will happen in the real-time blacklist? If the sockexpress.com, okay, if we are pumping out hundreds of emails to different users, why? Because tomorrow we're having another batch announcement, and we want to announce that particular thing. So we keep on adding, or we keep on what we call sending out or pumping out the emails for different users. So at that particular moment, what will happen? This particular proof point dynamic reputation will think, okay, why Sock Experts is sending out this many number of emails? Is this a spam sender or anything like that? They think like that, and they'll blacklist us for time being. Okay, why? Because we are acting weirdly, so we're sending out hundreds of emails and all. Then after for next 30 days, we are not done like that. We are appearing to be clean because there is nothing much malicious over here, so we are clean. So then what will happen? Automatically PDR will remove us from the blacklist and they'll put it under whitelist. Okay, that is the reason proof point dynamic reputation is all about. If at all if you are behaving maliciously, then you might not be able to send an email to us. If not, you can send an email to us, right? That's how this particular proof point dynamic reputation will work, guys. Got the point? So then you can see the reason why do we block the particular IPs. Okay, emails hitting the proof point spam. Okay, if you're sending a spam traps or email reported as a spam, and IPs in bulk ranges are sending spam. Okay, so in all these conditions, so this particular proof point dynamic reputation, okay, so they mainly blacklist the typical IP or IP address removal. Okay, mainly acts on top of RBLs. Okay, it's just like for time being purpose. Clear?
Sir,
Yes,
this that is around 30 days. It is fixed one, or else it is based on the companies.
Most of the times it will be by default 30 days itself. Okay, so it's just like not only 30 days, sometimes it will be 60 or 90 and all. It depends on the companies how they want to look into it.
Okay, till then it will be quarantine that mail, unless until
Yes,
it will
yes.
be.
After 30 days and all, so if you are behaving cleanly, there is no malicious activity happening from your address, then it will allow you automatically.
Okay.
Okay, so the next one under the IP reputation check. Okay, remember guys, IP reputation check is all about sender related checks, right? So this is a inbound mail flow. That means outsider to insider. We are company people, and someone is named outsider, okay, called as attacker, called Surya. He's trying to send an email to us. For that particular email, all these different checks will happen. The second one is CloudMark sender intelligence. What is CloudMark sender intelligence? So as the name itself will says that CloudMark sender intelligence. This is a typical what we call a threat intel information. Okay, so you know of what is a threat intelligence, right? What is a threat intelligence actually? TI. TI.
Using the existing knowledge on any threat or vulnerability, any known issue, so we can work according to it. Like if any hash is malicious and it is prior known, so we can take help of like threat intelligence tools like Virus Total, IBMS tools, etc.
Exactly. So likewise, CloudMark is actually a company, guys. Okay, don't get confused. This CloudMark is a company which got acquired by Proofpoint, right? So what even if you go and check over here also, you can get that information. You can see over here. Actually, CloudMark is a company, okay, which is a threat intel provider. Okay, so what had happened? You can see over here, CloudMark, a Proofpoint company. Okay, basically, Proofpoint acquired this particular company. So then after, what is this particular thing? Mainly, it will check the sender's IP reputation check. Okay, you can see over here, sender intelligence IP reputation, right? Most of the times, so what will happen, it will check for sender IP reputation. Okay, in the sense, so who is the sender of the typical email? Okay, Surya. What is Surya's email address? 18.15.2.0. Okay, it will check the reputation of that particular sender's IP address. That is why, so CloudMark mainly it will initially, okay, consider, guys, when the email is flowing towards your company, mainly it will go for PDR check. Okay, proof point dynamic reputation, whether the email address or user has been blacklisted in the last 30 days or not. Second thing, CloudMark sender intelligence, IP reputation blacklisting, mainly it will look for who is the sender of the typical particular email, whether the IP address is malicious or not, like whether the mail server IP address is malicious or not. All these things will be known by this particular CSI, CloudMark sender intelligence. Next one is a pretty straightforward attachment defense. Okay, what is this attachment defense? Most of the times, okay, in this particular part, what will happen? Attachments are the key part for infecting any of the users, right? Whenever the email has been sent, attachment, if the attachments are malicious, if the attachments are malware, okay, so there is a high chance of infecting any of the typical users. So in that particular part, attachment defense, okay, acts very much important. Why? Because so when an email is there, okay, when you receive a particular phishing email, will you be able to download those attachments and check whether they are malicious or not? Guys, getting the concept or confusing?
No, we don't download.
Okay, well and good. How about others? Getting the concept or confusing? How about it?
Getting the concept. There is I think, a part like quarantine type of something that happens in this case.
Okay. So in the meantime, okay, so whenever there is an attachment, okay, with a typical phishing email, okay, so we might not be able to download that particular attachment and check whether it's malicious or not. Why? Because your system might get infected if you download that particular attachment, right? So that is the reason this particular proof point will also come with the add-on feature called as attachment defense, where without you downloading that particular attachments, it will be automatically give out that particular information of that attachment, whether it's malicious or not. This we call it as a sandbox environment. What is a sandbox environment that we spoke about in proof in Palo Alto? Can anyone name the tool name?
We can check that how it will be work, that maybe that exe file or any
Yes,
that's
this happens from the proof point side itself. They're going to take it down in the under sandbox environment and check its behavior and all. What is the sandbox name that we used in Palo Alto that we discussed in the last week?
Wildfire.
Correct. Okay.
yeah, wildfire.
So wildfire. So just like that, what we do, attachment defense. Okay, it comes like an add-on feature. You need to pay extra money for proof point and then get it down. That's why they have taken it as if licensed. If you have taken the license of that particular thing, so then only you'll be getting that particular feature. The third one is all about antivirus scanning. What is this antivirus scanning, guys? Where it will happen?
This may happen with our own AV like semantic.
No, then why should it be listed under proof point feature?
Uh, is it will scan that body of that mail?
No, Deepak, because the body of the email doesn't contain anything. It's all about an attachments and links, right? So antivirus scanning mainly works on top of your attachments itself once again. Right. So in the attachment defense, okay, if you're not be able to download that particular thing in the antivirus, what will happen if you download, okay, if you download that particular attachment, the moment when you download and try to execute, this particular antivirus check will be happening in your typical mailboxes. Okay, so what will happen once you download, and the moment when you download, it will come to know that this is malicious. This particular antivirus scanning or feature of your particular proof point will not allow you to open that particular thing, and it will be automatically reported as a malware or anything, and it will be alerted your typical SOC team. So that is the reason antivirus scanning mainly works on top of a feature where it will just check whether the attachments are malicious or not once it gets downloaded. Attachment defense is a feature without it downloading itself will come to know. Antivirus scanning will come to know once when you download and try to execute. If it acts like a malicious thing, then automatically it will be listed down. So the fourth feature is all about anti-spoofing. What is anti-spoofing? Anti-spoofing mainly works on top of SPF, DKM, DMARC. Correct? So heard of these terminologies? SPF, DKM, DMARC.
Yes,
What are these?
this comes under phishing. Um,
Okay. So anti-spoofing is all about, it will come to know, for example, even if at all, if you are masking someone else, for example, so in terms of Sumit, if I'm acting like a Sumit from Accenture.com, Sumit at Accenture.com and sending and try to sending out an email. Okay, so your email gateway solution at Accenture.com will recognize that no, this is not Sumit. Behind that, this is Surya at StockExpress.com. Why? Because it works on top of different checks, right? Anti-spoofing mainly works on top of SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. Okay. In SPF part, what will happen? What will happen? Sender policy framework. Mainly, it looks for, okay. So who is the sender of the typical email? What are their IP address and which is the mail server IP address and all. DKM mainly works on mail body. DMARC works on top of both of these entities. If all these three things are clear, that means your mail is good to go. It will be passed on to the next level of check. Okay, that is what we call as filters. What are these custom filters and send list? Basically, sometimes you will be blocking a set of users. Right. So, for example, you in the Accenture company, they don't want to receive any email from suryavi at stockexpress.com. They'll be having their own blacklist maintained at that particular moment. What are these custom filters? For example, in your companies, has anyone tried attaching the file size more than 15 MB, 20 MB to your mail and try to send it down? Will it allow you to send? Anyone done
No,
these things in your present
no,
companies? If not, you can try today
No.
itself,
yeah,
right?
no, it will not allow.
It will not allow. It will ask you to put it in the Google Drive and share it on some other location and all those stuff. Or else, if you're sending an email to more than 30 or 50 users, it will ask for permission, right?
Yes, right.
So what will happen is all about, this is what we call as custom filters. Every company, okay, there will be given an option for you also for how to control the incoming emails. For example, if you don't want to receive an email from a typical any advertisement company and all, you can make them under a blacklist, and so that all those different sets of that company related sending emails will not be receiving. Or else, if at all, if any of the email that contains an attachment with .exe file, okay, automatically those exe file you will not be able to it will not be able to send it down to any of the users. The mail will be sending, but the attachment will not be available for the typical users. This is what we call as custom filters. Okay, how you want, you can customize your typical different techniques. Okay, how you can filter out all the incoming email. Sixth one is all about anti-spam. What is this anti-spam? most of us, you have observed in your Gmails, okay, you if you go to the spam box, okay, there are different spam emails, right? So what these spam emails do, mainly they consume their bandwidth, or else mainly like they want to waste your typical time, or else they want to read out as an advertisement part, okay, they want to give out something else like that, okay. So what they will do, this is what we call as anti spam. So in this particular anti spamming, so what will happen, it mainly works on top of algorithms. For example, if at all, if there is something called as a spam score, 0 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 10, okay. So likewise a different spam score will be given. If the mail contains some set of words called as bomb, ammunition, terror, okay, so or else any sort of link, any sort of images, okay, they'll be given a different spam score, okay. Under that particular spam score, okay, automatically it will be moved into the spam box. So that is the reason, if the Outlook has been considered to be the most secure ones, so that's why all the companies are going to use this particular Outlook as their email security solution, okay. O365, they have moved everything over there. Clear? That's all about anti-spamming. Anti-spamming mainly works on top of algorithm, okay. Let me show that one. You can see over here, some users might need different spam filter level, okay. So what they will do, they can select their own different things, okay. For example, you might adjust the spam settings of the functional account sales at mycompany.com. So the spam sensitivity slider is adjusted to a low aggressive trigger point, or you might disable quarantine bulk mail for purchasing item. So what will happen, so most of the times, so there's something called as adjusting, okay. So here I call it as a scale, they are calling it as a slider. So what will happen, they'll be given a different score, spam score, okay, for all the emails. And depending upon the spam score, whether the mail should be allowed or blocked or dropped, automatically it will take down, okay. You can see very strict, standard, loose, very loose, right? So there are different quarantine policies also, okay. On top of these scores itself, automatically the mail will be considered whether it is a spam or not, okay. The last one is all about URL defense. What is this URL defense? If at all, if the email consists of links, okay. So for example, if the same link you are trying to send it down to 30 or 50 people, or else if you're forwarding a typical email, okay, if you're forwarding a typical email that contains a link, what will happen? Anyone observed the link will be rewritten as hxxps socexperts.com. Guys, am I the only one there in the class, or you guys are there? Anyone observed your email appearing as hxxps?
No.
No, did not understand what you are trying to say.
URL defense scan and rewrites is all about, for example, if your mail contains a URL, so
Mm-hmm.
consider your mail contains a URL and you are sending out the email to 50 or 60 users, or else you are
Okay.
forwarding the same email to 50 or 60 users.
Mm-hmm.
So this particular proof point will not allow you to do that, or else it will rewrite that particular URL. Why? Because that particular proof point will consider that if the URL has been forwarded to multiple users, okay, it might be a phishing ones, or else it might be a spam ones, okay, just to
Okay.
waste of time or bandwidth wastage. So this particular proof point will automatically categorize under URL defense scan. What it does, okay, so basically it will scan the typical URL, okay, whichever is there
Mm-hmm.
in your email. So then it will try to rewrite that particular URL. Why? Because why it should rewrite, if at all, if the proof point comes to know that the URL is malicious and it is kept as it is in your typical email, what if a real-time user click on the typical URL and he might visit some malicious website? right? So that is the reason instead of putting HTTPS, it will be mentioning it as HXXPS, so that you might not be able to redirect to any of your typical malicious websites.
No, but suppose like that URL is correct. So the proof point will do in that case, na, like when it is scanned as a malicious. If it
Hmm.
is not scanned as a malicious, then then what? Like it will keep it as it is, or what?
Yes, it will keep it as it is.
Okay, okay.
If you're
If it is
sending,
malicious,
if I'm
then
sending the, if the sending the mail to you with one URL, I'm not forwarding it to anyone. Automatically, how it is, it will be receiving at your end. If I'm sending it in a bulk manner, the proof point will suspect. Okay, if I am forwarding a URL, this particular proof point will
yeah, that's
suspect.
fine.
At that
So
particular
suppose
moment, it
like
will check.
it is sending to multiple user,
Hmm.
then it is will it always like rewrites, or if it is
If it
only
is
malicious,
malicious, it will
then
rewrite.
okay. Malicious is okay. So in the sense like it will scan the URL
It
and
will check
then
to which destination
if
it
it
is trying to redirect, and then on top of that, it will take the action.
okay. If it is found malicious in his database,
Hmm.
so it's a proof point database, right? So
Hmm.
proof point is like an online cloud based tool, or like what is this? Like it is
Cloud-based tool.
installed. Okay,
Cloud-based tool.
cloud
Yeah.
based. It's public
Hmm.
on the public interface. It's not like that. Like we someone install on some Windows server or Linux server, then it is used,
See,
right? It's
proof
not like
point
that.
will comes in two different ways. Software as a
Okay.
service, as a SaaS platform, and also in your network also you can install this particular proof point once.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Okay,
Okay, both of the things it will be available
both of
because
the things.
sandbox and all, so that they are available in the both the times. Clear with inbound mail flow, how this inbound mail flow will works, IP
So
reputation and all.
Proof Point is itself a company name. It's a company name,
Yes,
right?
yes, vendor.
And yeah.
Proofpoint is a vendor for email gateway solution. Your email gateway will does all these things. Proofpoint email gateway will do all these things when the mail has been sent from outsider to insider.
If I compare with suppose Microsoft Defender for Office 365, so do you think like is there any more like other benefit in the Proof Point or in Microsoft 365 Defender? Or I think because these all things are available there as well. So do
Of
you
course,
find any
yes,
different?
not a
Okay.
different ones. Each and every tool will be having its own unique features, right? For
Mhm.
example, so just because you have a car, everywhere you can't take a car, right? In the offline road, sometimes which is a very small road, just because you have a car, you can't take over there. Forcefully, you want to travel by bike. Sometimes it happens, correct? That's
Yeah,
how
of
it
course.
works. So even though you have some O365 and available options are there, sometimes you need to go for proof point itself because of your limitations and all. So there is nothing much difference, okay, between the O365 and all. O365 completely works on top of cloud. Everything is a cloud based ones over there.
Yeah.
Correct. Here it available in both options.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. So these are all the different levels of check. So for a typical inbound mail flow, okay, for an inbound mail flow, these are all the different checks will happen. For example, when an outsider sends an email to you, these different checks will happen. Okay, outbound email flow, that means when you are trying to send an email to outsider, only these four checks will happen. What sort of attachment defense you are sending? Antivirus, are you trying to send in any sort of virus or malware? Custom filters, anti-spam. Only four checks will happen for outbound mail. For example, from you, if you are sending out a mail to Gmail account or any of your typical users, these four different level checks will happen. Attachment defense, you know that. So what will happen if you are sending out any of the attachment, it contains your domain words. Suppose, for example, sometimes if you are sending out any sensitive information, okay, so what will happen? So the mail will be quarantined. So then after your DLP team or any of your team of your email security team will allow, then only your mail will be traveling, or else it will be freezed by your email security team or your DLP team. Okay, so I think most of you would have been experienced in your companies when you're trying to send an email to your Gmail accounts with your own Gmail accounts. It will be caught by your DLP team, and then you give a specific reason to them, they'll be allowing you. Antivirus, if you're sending out any sort of virus and all to avoid that particular thing, antivirus scanning will happen. Filters, as I said, so if you're sending an attachment for more than 15 MB, 20 MB and all, so it won't allow you to send that particular thing. So anti-spam is all about, okay, so it will check whether if you are sending out or sharing any spam emails or not. Okay, so that's how the outbound mail flow will work. Okay, the same feature here, only 4 steps are there. Here it will be 7 steps. Okay, they are taking extra precaution for an inbound email. Clear? When someone asks you the question in terms of proof point, what are you aware of this particular proof point and all, you need to explain all these different 7 steps for an inbound email. This is what you have worked upon. And also with respect to proof point UI, okay, so what will happen, so it will, they'll be giving a user related UI where with respect to a phishing mail, okay, whenever you get a phishing email and you want more information related to that particular phishing email and all, so those information can be pulled from this particular proof point. Okay, I'll try to show how that particular UI will look. This one. We try to give a visual experience. Where is it? This analytics dashboard.
Sir, that help.proofpoint.com website, just now you have explained the things, right? That one it is asking to create an account. Is necessary?
This one?
Yes, yes.
No, sir. I'll just give a link.
Okay. And in Proofpoint, there is two different types, right? Those are tap and trap versions.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to cover those?
No, sir. They are another feature of Proofpoint. It's a, like an add-on. Proofpoint tap and trap are two different entities. They're not related to gateway things. Proofpoint tap
Proofpoint tap and
alerts.
trap.
Proofpoint tap alerts mainly like whenever there is a malware or any other phishing infections and all. Okay, in different way it will work. Okay, trap is nothing but it will wait for some malicious things to happen and report.
Okay, tap.
I'm not getting that particular one, so I would have shown you how it looks like. Okay, that name, because I'm having a work experience on that tool or console. Let me check. this one, not this one. Yes. Okay, so here, so what will happen? Okay, most of the times, okay, this is not clear. Well and good. First, I need to open like this. Okay. Okay, you can see over here. So what will happen? Okay, it will be giving us several options like this. Okay, from to CC subject, email ID, geo ID, message ID. Okay, different options will be given. When you search all those mails that has been received from suryaveer@sockexpert.com, we need to send from suryaveer at sockexpert.com. Okay, the moment when you click, all the below email list will be appearing. Okay, in that particular ones, if you click on any of the typical email, you can see over here from, okay, it will be like suryaveer@sockexpress.com. Subject will be breaking news, welcome, reply and all. If you just click on any of the typical email, okay, if you click over here, okay, these options will be available for admin. Release, safe list, not spam, this will be available for admin. For users, it will be just like a viewable option. If you just click on that, how the email is there. For example, in your phishing email, you explain most of the times, right? Just like telling like, sir, by observing the mail body will come to know whether the any sort of urgency is created or any threatening to the users and all. If the interviewer asks you the question from where you'll get this information, you need to tell them with your proof point, what we call admin user level access. Okay, only with viewable access. So when you click on this particular thing, automatically this option will be given to view the email. Okay, so how the email body is there and all, you can just click over here, view the mail, and you can use it down for your typical analysis. Correct. That's how your admin console will be helpful for your analysis part. Apart from this, they don't give any option for you to change anything, because it's all about entirely controlled by the admin. For you, it will be just a viewable option. Anything you can view, just like you can pull out the information, how the mail body looks like, any urgency created, what are the attachments, hash value or anything, those things will be available in this particular console itself. Got the point with respect to proof point? Any doubts, guys? All good?
Surya, in the interview level and in the real time, like this much enough to we know, right? I mean,
Yes, yes, that's what I covered. What you're supposed to answer in your interview level. So what are the questions you might get? So if they will ask you the question, what are the exposure? What are the exposure you have with the proof point? Just tell them with the proof point, you know how it works. Okay, how the inbound mail flow, how the outbound mail flow will happen, and also like you'll be using this particular proof point user console for your investigation with respect to phishing ones. Whenever there is a phishing ones, okay, we want to know whether the first step urgency created, threatening the users and all. So we use this admin console to weave over that itself.
okay, got it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Why? Because in a typical company, they'll be having a dedicated person working for email security, or else a dedicated email security team will be there, right? So that is the reason they don't give it in the hands of SOC team to maintain this entire email security solution. It will be maintained by dedicated person or team itself. Any doubts with your technical things, guys? Okay, so apart from your XOR, okay, so all your technical things has been covered till date. Okay, so hopefully for the one last time, so I want all of you to respond. Okay, I'm pretty sure like I've never heard not even one word from Aarti, Bhanupriya, Chandru. Okay, I think Chandra speaking. Kavya, KK, Kundur Verma, my time Eva.
Surya, I have doubt. Like,
Yes.
see, from proof point itself, we are checking that SPF demark things. So, like, is it possible like we still receive this phishing email?
Yes, of course, yes. That's where the attackers are ahead of us, right? So if the, not only with respect to that question, I might ask you the same question. Like you have SIM solution, you have source solution, email gateway, web gateway, firewall, IDS, IPS. Don't you think like still company gets compromised? Yes or no?
Yes.
Attacks are happening, right? Every day attacks are happening. So that is the reason. Just because we have a tool, we can't rely on them, right? Attackers are far ahead of us. We are still lagging behind them.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's been a great journey, guys. Okay, so this journey was supposed to end well in the last week itself, but yes, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how much of knowledge you gained from this particular Sentinel class or XDR class and all. Correct? At least 5 to 10% in an interview for you to speak about for a couple of minutes. You have that that much of information, right? How do you felt with the classes, guys?
Yeah, it's a great journey, I think, because like we have learned Rapid 7, Sentinel, and today Proof Point. So yeah, I had a good experience.
Okay, well and good.
Very good and more informative.
Thank you.
We are
Sentinel has
happy
been
to
covered
take
only
part.
half of the part. And
Yes, so in the next week, probably he might ask you to take one more class, and I'll be passing on the information. You can join over there.
okay, sir. Thank you.
So apart from this, we have a special presentation. Okay, so for you guys, as this is the last day. Okay, so most of you guys will be thinking Surya never used the presentation for his explanation, but for last day, happily he's using, right? But yes, so I want to use this particular thing for your last day. Okay, at least for one last time, I want all of you to speak out. Okay, so that is the reason in the next part. Okay, so hopefully most of you are successful in terms of getting the job. Most of you are hunting for the job. Most of you are in the phase of transitioning. Okay, so ultimately, yet please, you're going to get the success. Perseverance and dedication is the key to the success, right? So most of the times it's just like doing anyone like heard of the tapasvi, right? I don't know what is the synonym for that thing in the English or any other different language, right? So what we do, like most of the saints, like they sit under a tree or it might be any other location. Okay, they meditate for years together. Okay, just to get one special power or one such special thing from the god or anyone. Okay, to get that particular thing, they meditate for years together. Okay, that's how your job hunting should be there, right? It should not be like today and tomorrow I meditate and the third day god has to come and give me a special power. No. Sorry, you have to meditate for years together. Okay, so just like that over here also. Okay, we are not saying you are supposed to learn years together to get a job in security. No, you are supposed to learn for days together to get a job in cybersecurity. Okay, yet the dedication should be very high. Okay, how the particular saints, okay, they are going to meditate continuously, okay, day and night for this particular purpose. Here also, okay, we expect the same level of dedication, right? And remember guys, okay, one thing, not only for this thing, for your life also, when you are doing something new in the life, it won't be easier. Okay, so when you riding a bicycle for the very first day was a very hardest thing, okay, that you experience at that point of time when you are second standard or third standard. But now riding a car itself is very easier for you. That's not a big deal, right? Riding a bike with all our super bikes, whatever we have, okay, riding a bike is never a big deal for us. It's just like a tip of your hand. You don't worry about that particular thing itself, right? But once in a time, riding a bicycle itself was a toughest thing. But here, as of now, we are all riding a bicycle, guys. Okay, just because when you fell down from a bicycle for a couple of times, that doesn't mean never ever you should step onto the bicycle once again. If you had done that today, no one else would have ride a bicycle or a car, right? So that is the reason you fell down sometimes. You need to get back stronger and you need to come back stronger. That's how you can do. So as we said, this is the last class for this particular batch of 67. There's nothing called as the last, okay, because as I said, I never personally consider that just because you have completed 2 months, that doesn't mean like you are going to end this particular batch and tomorrow you're going to start a fresh one and yes, we are going to refresh the button. No. Why? Because success of the batch lies with number of people you got an offer letter, right? So most of you, okay, most of you are still yet in the way of progressing of getting the offer letters and all. Please make it aggressive. Today the people who are there with you are already be working in the offices, they're already working in the shift, but yes, we are still in the way of learning the particular things and all. Okay, it's just like all the five fingers of your hand is not in the one single face or one single size, right? They differ in each and every different part. Just like that, okay, our preparation for sometimes it might be less or more. Okay, so please consider and prepare every day. Okay, so prior jumping, let's have a look back at our journey, what we have done in our last couple of months. Correct. So we have read about typical network architecture. Okay, Active Directory, DNS, DHCP, email server, web server, and firewall, IPS, web gateway, email gateway, endpoint security, and vulnerability assessment. Okay, so in terms of our SIM solution, okay, Splunk, which is a one popular ones which will be used by most of the companies. Okay, we have read about the architecture, deployment architecture, UI and search. Okay, dashboard and report and alerts creation. In terms of alert analysis, I think most of you have discussed about these alerts and also few more new alerts which were discussed by your trainers. So then after about the SOC processes, which is a very important thing. Why? Because you guys who are career aspirants to know how this particular process works and what it's all about. So how the SOC functions, different roles in SOC, in-house versus MSSP, SOC workflow, report and metrics, and build your infra and team. What are the advanced capabilities that you have read? Threat intelligence, threat hunting, malware analysis, and SOAR. Malware analysis, even though if it is not taught in the typical class, okay, so malware analysis course by Anand Guru is at free of cost in the YouTube. Just watch out the typical videos over there. You can add on a point in your resume telling you have a basic understanding of malware analysis. Over there, he has really demonstrated a video itself or example itself in terms of how to do the malware analysis. So please have a look and enhance your knowledge and you can add on the point over there. So the next point
Yeah.
is all about tools. Okay, which are the tools that you have worked upon? Splunk, Nessus, Palo Alto, and Proofpoint. Additionally, okay, so you have a knowledge of XDR and also whatever we call in terms of Sentinel ones, right? So Sentinel, the next half is there. I think he's going to give the hands-on experience also in terms of Sentinel. We are going to wait for next class, okay, in the next week. So next is all about the compliance part. Okay, in terms of compliance, what are the things we have read about? Analysis tool, virus total, IP void, IBM X-Force, MX toolbox. Okay, different threat intel platform tools, activities, building the playbook, RFP, report walkthrough, reports and metrics, and tool evaluation. Okay, so this is how your journey. So when we look back at your couple of months of journey, and apart from this, yet the answer for the last class activity, no one asked. Okay, from the Monday's activity, build your SOC activity. I'm pretty sure I don't know how many of you are done with that particular answers. Okay, so that is the major setback for all the working professionals. Like you guys, even though if you're willing to do the assignment also, okay, sometimes with your office load and all those stuff, you might not be able to do that, but yet believe me, once if you're able to do all these assignments, okay, so you gain a lot of experience, you gain a lot of enhanced full knowledge, right? So these assignments are not just meant like a school assignments, okay, you're supposed to do no. When you do this particular thing, okay, you'll get a different view. Just because with your build your own SOC or build your infra activity, probably you'd have gained a lot more knowledge. Build your own SOC will give you a different expertise level in terms of your experience. Okay, so what else to study for SOC roles? Okay, you might be having this typical question: alert analysis and incident response. Okay, internet and Udemy course. Okay, which is what we call as 400 question and answer. Correct. I think most of you are having access to the 400 question and answer. If not, today itself go and watch that particular 400 question and answer. Trust me, guys. Many of the people have got the job just by referring to all those 400 question and answer without miss. Okay, so you go to the Udemy, don't buy the course. Okay, I'm not telling like go and buy the course. No, don't buy it. Just go to the Udemy, open 400 question and answer, read out the comments that are given by the people who have read about the particular course. Okay, and for our students, the course is absolutely free. You can just go to the YouTube video, type in 400 question and answer from SOC experts, and you can there are some few steps you are supposed to follow. Add a comment, and just you can send the screenshot. You'll be getting the course at free of cost. Okay, you need not to pay anything. You'll be getting the course at free of cost. Use that particular course to clear typical interviews. Many people, guys, okay, in my experience, okay, many people, many alumni from batch 65, 63, 62, 60, many people, they have expressed their thing like 400 question and answer has proven to be what we call the ultimate guide for transition to your career. So please make the best use out of it. Prepare sample run books. Okay, make this as an activity. So sample report, study raw logs, gain offensive security knowledge. Okay, get certified. Okay, so all these things are pretty much important activities which you are supposed to do in your upcoming days. So interview preparation. So how you should prepare for a typical interview. Okay, there is something called as a breakdown I want to share with you guys, so that according to that you can prepare. Okay, so in networking concepts, security concepts, okay, you can refer from SC Learning Center. Okay, so security solutions from the vendor videos and logs. Vendor videos in the sense Palo Alto Beacon or XO certification, which tomorrow Anand Guru is going to stress about. So cyber attacks, offensive security knowledge. Same Splunk website is available at free of cost for 60 days. Splunk is giving you 60-day free trial. Just go and visit over there. Alert analysis and incident response, Udemy course of 400 question and answer. SOC process, as discussed in the class, knowledge of recent developments, keep reading. This is very much important. Keep yourself updated with the Log4j vulnerability, with the latest attack, latest malware. These things are very much helpful when you go for a typical interview. They will ask you the question to know how much you are well updated with the industry. So that is the reason, without miss, read about all these things. Remember, knowledge is not equal to job, guys. Knowledge is not equal to job. If you think if I gain more and more and more knowledge, I'm going to get a job. No. Okay, the success is all about when you speak about cybersecurity for every day without miss for 30 minutes. Okay, so you, regardless of what are the concepts you are speaking about, a tool you are speaking about, a technology, if you're speaking about any recent development, just speak about 30 minutes every day without miss related to cybersecurity. This will help you keep your transition and also your interest safe in terms of transitioning your career and all, right? So that is the reason, if you're reading for 3 hours a day, it's a waste of thing. If you're doing the same thing for 30 minutes, okay, it's like a effective or a smart work what you are doing. Okay, in an interview, no one will ask you or no one will give a test and write it down. Okay, so everyone, like, they'll just express that particular thing. Your CV is a living document, need to change every week. Most of us, we just think like our CV is a one concrete document. Okay, we are done and I'm keep on using for next couple of weeks. No, you read about XDR, you read about Sentinel, you read about Proofpoint and Palo Alto. Have you added those points in your resume? The answer will be no. So that is the reason, if you are reading, if you have a knowledge and not showcasing in your resume, then it's of no use, right? So that is the reason, please make the best use out of it, guys. Okay, your CV is a living document, need to change every week. Okay, start giving interviews today. At least for God's sake, don't hesitate, give interviews today, guys. Okay, so don't forget. Okay, once the biggest failure is all about the very first interview. When you fail, the experience you gain, okay, that is the biggest teacher or a mentor which will be giving you the biggest lessons of your life. So that is the reason, experience the failure first, then taste the success. It will give you the more fruitfulness. Okay, and one big thank you for all the S3s. Okay, so like whichever for your batch, anyone do remember the name S3s of your
Puja
batch?
Mithun. Puja Mithun.
Puja
Puja.
ma'am.
Yes,
Puja.
thank you.
So,
So
like, sorry to interrupt you. Like,
yes.
you written like knowledge is not equal to job. So, could you
Hmm.
please like explain that? Like, why you have
Yes.
written that knowledge is not equal to job? Because I believe knowledge is equal to job. If you have more knowledge, then you will be growing, growing, growing. Right. So, why you have
Yes.
written that?
Okay, let me explain with an example for you.
Yeah.
So most of the time, so what will happen for a typical career aspirants? Okay, so what will be there in the mind? I need to learn this, I need to learn that, I need to get exposure of these things and all. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be having this mind like thing and all, like just like you asked, sir, if I get an exposure of Palo Alto or Proofpoint, it will be helpful. Why? We want to enhance our knowledge. Okay, so that is the reason. If you just keep on enhancing your knowledge, if you just keep on adding day by day new tool and technology, and if you forget about the normal SOC processes itself, will you be able to get the job?
Okay, so in that respect, you have written. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, we should not.
knowledge
We
is
should never
knowledge
like
is required.
forget.
Okay, knowledge is required to get a job, that is agreed. But
Mhm.
if you just think like in the next 1 year I'm going to just read on, keep on reading or adding the things, okay, it will never yield a typical job. Okay, it will be just like a round around a mess. Okay,
Right,
so
right. We should
that
have
is the
always
reason.
knowledge.
So always focus on deeper knowledge than wider knowledge, because today also if you are going to ask some of the questions to myself or Anand Guru, even we might not be able to answer for them. Just because we are trainers over here, that doesn't mean we are a masters of cybersecurity, right? We are a master in terms of helping you guys to get a job. Okay, that's what we
Mhm.
believe in. So that is the reason the learning or knowledge is a never ending process. Don't go in a wider aspect, go in deeper aspect. Just you know
Right,
about the Splunk tool itself, read it at its best. Okay, so if you ask a question on proof point today, you're going to answer at its best level. Okay, so what if I'm going to ask you honeypot tomorrow, then you think, okay, and honeypot is not covered at SOC experts, or even I don't know, let me go back and read. No. How for a 2 years of experienced person, that doesn't mean that you should be having exposure with all the sim solution, all the source solutions, everything, right? It's evident you need to
right,
say no to some of the things. So that
right,
is the reason gaining the knowledge is not equal to getting the job.
right,
Okay.
right. We should always remember the basic concept and the things. Like we
Yes.
should not
So
forget that.
focus on deeper ones rather than
Deeper knowledge.
what you know, just execute very well. Okay. That is what I believe. That is where even I am success. Okay. So
Right,
I got success. Like what you know, execute it very well. What you don't know, try to manage it at an extent level. Okay. Afterwards, just admit it you don't know.
right.
Right, so that is the reason. Okay, so what I explained that particular point over there, and coming back to the slide, I really want to thank from all of your end to our S3s also, because Pooja took a role of a friend, a tuition teacher, a mentor, and a best friend. Right. So she acted like a different levels with all of you guys in terms of helping you out, in terms of shaping your career. Even though the trainers, we guys have helped you out in terms of giving out the technical knowledge and all. Okay. So Pooja is the ones who motivated you, who helped you in your particular part and all. So she played a major role in terms of your success and all. Okay, so that is the reason I really want to thank all the S3. Okay, so who is a Pooja, who acted like a best friend for your particular batch and all. So in the next part, okay, and at the final step, okay, so it's a humble request from all of you guys. Okay, so please give us a Google review. Okay, so review us or help us back or feed us back in terms of your valuable feedback, whatever you gained. Okay, so either it might be positive ones or a negative ones, what you felt about SOC experts, what we need to improve and all. So just give us a few more words from your end so that it will help us to grow and help the career aspirants like you, okay, in a much more and better manner. Okay, so that is the reason what you felt and how the process was, how the transition was, how the trainers was, how the technical trainer was. Okay, myself, I never appeared to be a technical trainer. I always spoke about the interview part and all, right? So I'm a kind of interview preparation person who helped you out. Okay, reviewers on Google and LinkedIn. Okay, so that whenever possible will help others in their careers. So one feedback from your end, okay, so definitely it is going to add a value back for our particular profiles. Okay, so kindly give us the particular valuable feedback from your end, guys. Okay, so I'm just giving out a link, okay, in the chat
Yeah,
box.
please send the link.
Yes, sir. I want to make the process easier. Okay, it's there in the chat box. Okay, it's there in the chat. Okay, so please give your wonderful review. Okay, what you felt about the SOC experts, what is the best part you heard about us, and what you felt and experienced about us, so that it will help us to reach more and more people like you. Okay, and also like to help and more career aspirants like you guys. Okay, so any questions for the one last time? And my humble request, I want to speak with all of you guys. Even though if you have a wonderful background noise, let's have some noise with the last class. You can unmute yourself and you can speak out.
So you were saying like we'll be having class next week as well, like not
No,
for
sir.
this batch, means is overall
So your 8 weeks of
like
your
on X
class,
or
what was supposed for 2 weeks, okay, it was already lasted in the last week itself. Okay, so according to your schedule, your eight
Mhm.
weeks of classes are already over by last week. This week, I extended in a purpose that you should not miss the classes of XDR and Sentinel and few other things, right? So that is the reason 1 week we extended once again. So only for tomorrow, you'll be having an XOR session, hands-on XOR session with Anand Guru. Okay, he'll be scheduling the meeting and sending out the link, and through the link, you can join the particular classes. From Monday onwards, you'll not be having any classes.
okay, so tomorrow it's Saturday. Is the same time?
Yes, same time.
How
Okay,
far we may
thanks.
access those 400 questions?
Sorry, Pooja.
How far we may access those 400 questions?
400 question and answer. I think it is accessible for 1 year or 8 months. Okay, if you already have the
Ah,
access.
yeah, we
If
already
you're
have
already having the
access.
access, it will be staying with you for 1 year. I think so. I think you can probably see the when the course will get expired. If you check in the portal itself, you'll come to know the thing.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. So how many days the recording will be available? I think Aarti, you joined late. So as I said, the recordings will be available in the chat or in your Teams group for next 6 to 8 months. More than 6 to 8 months, it will be available. Sufficient enough for one person to get a job, unless and until you can revise as many times as possible with the recordings. Okay, so that it will helpful for your preparation. Apart from this, any other questions or queries? Anyone wants to share your thoughts, your journey experience at Rock Experts?
Yeah, hi sir. One request from my side, like for the Magic Portal, you mentioned that we will have access for maybe next month or next week, like that. So if that access will be continued for at least 6 to 7 months, it will be helpful for us, like because there are many questions are that like interview questions, like different
I think
companies
those
interview
things
questions
are
are there.
available, Deepak. CSIQ part and all will be available. Magic Portal access will be there with you for, I think it is a lifetime once, I think so. Magic Portal access will be a lifetime once, but the
Okay,
coins, whichever you have, will be there, will be staying with you for only next 1 month. SE coins.
okay, okay. And
Okay,
how
I'm
and
pretty sure
also
you.
that yeah, and also that buying a coins future also, if you add, then it is
Yes, sir. Definitely, we are going to come back with the stronger version next time. So for sure, we'll pass on the feedback to the development team. Okay, so we'll get the feature done. Thanks for your
okay.
interest.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you.
Problem. So definitely, you can use the CSIQ tab, recent placements, and many more other interesting things. Whatever you find in the Magic Portal. Okay. So apart from this, anyone else wants to share your thoughts? How you felt about the trainers? How you felt about the training? Anything you want to express, go ahead, platform is yours. Because almost for 2 weeks I spoke. Okay, it's lengthy ones, and for the rest 6 weeks or 7 weeks, sorry, like the rest other trainers have been spoken. Now it's time for you guys to speak up what you felt, how you felt. So what was your experience?
It was nice experience with SOC experts. I have learned so many things from you guys, and everyone was helpful. And I will recommend any of my juniors or whoever want to move into SOC domain. I will refer them to take training once. Actually, it was like a life-changing thing for me that I joined SOC expert trainings, and
Saurabh,
I
and you need to mention you have more than 2 to 3 offer letters, right?
yes, yes, thank you, all thanks to you guys.
No problem, sir. Thank you. So it's a best part to hear. Okay, when a person is having 2 to 3 offer letters and all, and for all of you guys, when you have these kind of multiple offer letters, and if you're obviously you need to reject other two and you need to go for one company, right? The rejected ones, just send them your friend's profile. Okay, tell them like one of my friend is also looking out for a job. Take your friend's profile and send it to them so that it will be helpful for them also. Okay, so thank you, Saurabh. I wish you a best luck. Okay, for your new career. Okay, and congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
How about others? Anyone else?
Yes, sir. My experience is also good because of SOC expert, I know what exact cyber security field. Yeah, the experience is really good, and the mentors are also always helpful because I have done some of courses, but there was not that much exposure. But because of SOC expert, they are in less charge, but you are giving more and more. I'm very really appreciate and thank you to you, Anand sir, and all my teachers.
Yeah, thank you, Sumit. Thanks for it.
Yes,
Apart,
I already recommended my college and friends also who want to make their career in security field.
yeah, thank you, Sumit. Thanks for it. It helps a lot to
Yeah,
us. Thank you.
yeah, sure, sir.
Anything else? Anwar, Arti, Bhanupriya, Chandru,
Yeah, it's a great
Kavya.
experience,
Yes.
and I
Definitely.
just want to say like I did not join this course for getting a new job because I feel like uh, good like in my current company. I just joined this like to improve my knowledge because I was not from this cybersecurity background. I was from like virtualization background and user computing background. So, but I joined this course and I just moved like to cybersecurity in my current company. So it's a great experience, and I'll be disturbing you, Surya sir, like for when I face like some challenge while doing some practical things, like say, facing some issue like somewhere. So please don't mind for that in future. Thank
No
you.
problem, sir.
I would say it is more day by day. You guys are like more experience and more knowledge, and you're like more advanced. Because I do have my cousins all in the next set of batches, like in CSC 70 and all. My cousin is there today. She is calling and asking me how to log in AWS accounts and all. But we never created that servers and all. We just worked in Splunk. Okay. But she is in the T2, but she is asking so many questions to me. And the T1 itself, they were started giving interviews. I could see in alumni meeting, they were like given 3 2 interviews, and they don't know what is Plank, what is SOC, and still they do have a knowledge with the basics of the 400 questions, everything. And like that kind of motto I have. I would say I always go for the what is the advanced courses in there, but I'm from a non-IT background, which helps me so lot to improve my. And there is a someone to push us also, like a mentors. I especially given a big thanks to Pooja. She used to call me, and she will think like I'm earning and giving to her, like that she will behave like, and she will ask me to push like anything. Okay, I asked her also. I feel very guilty, Pooja. I can't able to attend your calls also, because she used to tell me like, where is your resume, where is your Naukri profile and all. But that is my wish, right? I have to be very to need to
Definitely.
take care of that, and I need to responsible for that. But she is pushing me like anything. I never seen such a persons in the institute, those who will very helpful, and whatever the doubts we asked, it is all. And I could see the very expert persons who and the managers and all took a class for us, and they are very knowledgeable. And in the very initial class, I felt like, okay, they are all not a mentors. The next class itself, they have turned into in a different phases, and their tone, everything has changed on the third day and second day and all, when compared to the first day. It is all because of you. Thank you all. And I think so. I did so many courses, but I never ever get an experience like this. Thank you. I'm already suggested many of my friends, and they are also in the batch. Thank you so much, Surya.
Thank you.
Convey my wishes to all your team.
Definitely, definitely. I'm going to do that. Okay, so I think most of you know that also. I always come with the T4 part. This best day, okay, all these best comments will only be reserved for Surya. Why? Because for all the batches, every T4s will be handled by myself in terms of interview preparation and all. So that is the reason I convey. I always used to say the same things to in our team meetings and all. Whenever we have the trainer meetings and all, I used to convey these things. People were very happy like this, and they share their concerns like this. They love the trainers like this and all in terms of changing the phases, the help, and trainer meetings, S3 meetings and all. I always get an opportunity to speak about whatever the things you said. I have some things to share with all of them, right? So that is the reason. Thanks for your wonderful wishes. And as I said, SOC experts, I don't know, like if we are exaggerating or not. Okay, but we always have a motto that yes, industry is having a lot more vacancy. Industry is having a lot more, i- just like industry is having a hungerness, and we want to feed that hungerness in terms of people asking them to start their career in this particular field. Because remember, guys, most of us who are in this particular place today, we have our own personal things, our own personal challenges. Someone might be having your own financial problem. Someone might be having a social status. Someone might be thinking like a current job you're doing is a not satisfied one. Someone might be having like thinking I should earn a better package than one of my any of my particular persons. So hoping on that, you have invested 15,000 over here, where we want not only the 15,000 amount of value you should be getting over here, it should be double or triple the things you should be gaining over here, right? So that is the reason most of the times, okay, so we always stand with our words in terms of helping you out to start your career. We never said like SOC experts is a one great institute where we feed all the technical knowledge whatever you want to know, sir. Okay, so we always stand with our word in terms of helping you out to clear an interview. What is there to clear an interview? We provide them at our best. Okay, what is sufficient, we provide at its best, so that once you are into the industry, you know that how to upgrade. It's just like a ocean, guys. We teach you how to swim. We tell you what are the techniques to swim. Okay, so then we leave over there. Okay, so it's you guys when you're swimming the ocean. Okay, it's a do or die. Okay, so once you get a job to save your life, obviously you need to swim. Okay, it happens like that most of the times. So thank you so for your words. Okay, it will help us to get motivated, and it will help us to help more and more people like you guys. Okay, so anything else? Anyone else wants to share how you felt about the trainers? Personally, how you felt about Surya? Anything, any improvements for me? Because I don't think I think even you guys have got an opportunity to give them a feedback in terms of whatever the link or feedback link each trainer I would have given in the last part or last day of their tenure. So I don't have any link to provide. Okay, so but yes, so anything you want to give a feedback to me, I'm open to it. It might be a positive or a negative ones. Definitely, I'm going to take it, feed it, learn, get more better. Anything else? Thank you, Pooja. Thanks for your words. So apart from it, all good, guys. So please give us a feedback. Okay, without miss, it is going to definitely help us to reach more and more people. So is it good, guys? Anyone wants to share any concerns? We are running with last 2 minutes. I don't want to miss your office and the buses you want to catch, breakfast you want to eat.
Take our last attendance.
All good.
That's a good question, Pooja. Yeah, it's a last attendance. So it's very hard enough to tell it like a last once.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Very hard to.
definitely.
Hard to digest telling because guys, we already in the habit of taking waking up in the morning and coming back by 7 o'clock, attending the classes. We'll be in a sleepy mode. Sometimes we are kept the classes open, and yet we are sleeping and snoozing and sneering and all, like having the coffee, eating the breakfast, playing with the kids, looking at the mobile phone. All these things would have happened till date. But yes, you were there with us. You are dedicated with SOC experts for 2 hours. Okay, that is what the major happiness we get most of the times, right? So you kept a dedicated amount of time for the SOC experts in the morning, your valuable sleep hours. So don't lose the habit from tomorrow also. Okay, so that's what we wish. Okay, so in the morning 7 to 9 every day, as you have kept dedicated for us. okay, in a similar manner. So use the same time for your preparation from tomorrow onwards, right? So
Yes, yes.
apart from this, any feedback to me or anything else, anything you want to share?
Surya sir, I want to ask one question. It's not related to feedback though.
Mhm.
Is there any good resource to learn cloud security? Actually, in few of interviews, like interviewer asks for any cloud security experience, like totally like to understand how it works, not, on the basic level.
So what happens, Saurabh, if you are mentioning about cloud security is not a small thing. Okay, so cloud security is a very vast and a bigger thing. So even though if you are mentioning in the basic level also, you need to have a very enhanced knowledge over there, right? So what I suggest is all about, as of now we don't have any free resources, but yes, in the future days we are planning to conduct dedicated class on this particular cloud security. Okay, so wherever possible, okay, so how much the level or opportunity is there in my hand, okay, definitely I'll help you out, you guys, to attend those classes. Okay, so just like I got an opportunity this week, in the future also we are having some classes on cloud security at that particular moment. If possible, definitely I'm going to add all of you guys to that particular class, and you can attend them and you can get the basic idea on that particular cloud security part and all. Okay,
Thanks.
but free
Thanks.
resources in the sense, you need to go randomly in the Google. Okay, that's what I would suggest as of now. Just check in Udemy or YouTube. Okay, somewhere it will be helpful for you.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So apart from this, anything else, guys? Anything you want to share? Okay, all good, guys. Nothing else. Anyone wants to speak? Running
So
out
do
with
we
the
get
2 minutes. Yes,
any
Anwar.
certificate? Do we get any certificate, sir?
Complete the course in your portal. Okay, watch all the videos. At the end, the course will be generated automatically. Course completion certificate will be provided, definitely. Yes, sir.
How sir? How sir?
Go to your learning center, sockexperts.com. You'll go and log in over there, right?
Okay.
If you log in over there, you have something called as course over there, SOC analyst training.
Okay.
Complete or watch all the videos from that. At the end, the certificate will be generated automatically.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so that's all about it. Thank you, guys. Personally, thank
Thank you, sir.
you
Yeah.
for all providing me an opportunity to serve, to be an interview preparation guy or act like a mentor or a friend for a couple of weeks. I enjoyed a lot of things with you guys. Okay, so I hope my level of knowledge or expertise was helpful for your interview preparation and all. So being, rather than getting a monetary benefit from SOC experts, okay, so I always love to hear the words, sir, your guidance was helpful for us to get a job. Okay, that satisfaction level is what I mainly look in each one of
Yeah,
your
sir.
particular
Definitely.
profiles.
Yes.
So thank you. Thanks for all the opportunity given to SOC experts and all to our trainers and our S3s and cyber genies and all the people who helped you out in this career. Okay, so definitely we'll meet in the upcoming days whenever possible. Okay, at my level best. So definitely I'll ask you to guys to attend several different classes. It might be revision classes or any other different things and all. Take the best benefit out of it. Okay, and very soon I want to see all the offer letters from you guys. Okay, as I said, today might be the last day. Okay, to just to conduct the classes, but actually there's nothing called as a last, right? WhatsApp group will be there. We always be there in the group. Anything you want, any help you want, definitely you can ask us at that particular moment. Okay. So thank you. So thank you all. Okay. So for this particular opportunity given. So thank you, Avinash, for your words. Okay. So thanks a lot. Oh, definitely, sir. So that's why I'm always there with you for T4 part. Okay. So for all the batches, okay, you can just check with last 20, 25, 30 batches. Okay. So for all the batches, I'm the T4 person who is coming for this particular batch. So I'm very lucky enough to come over that, because the T4, there is no other substitute rather than me. Okay. That's a one bad part and also good part for me. I interact with all the different people. Okay. So thank you. Thanks for this wonderful opportunity. I have
Sir,
initiated
actually,
your attendance. Initiated your attendance. Okay, you can just check in your Magic Portal, and you can mark your one last time with your attendance part. Okay.
very good.
Thank you, guys. Please give your valuable feedback. It will help us to grow. Okay, that's the one last time I would like to ask. Okay, so give the wonderful reviews. It will help us to grow and reach them better. Okay, what you felt
Sir,
with us, how the journey was, you can give us. Yes, sir.
really, it was very good, sir. You people have done a very wonderful thing.
Yes, thank you, Anwar. It will help us to grow and it will make us motivated. Okay, thank you.
Mm.
So
So this is
that's all, guys. Hmm.
the course is from the getting started from there, right, sir? In the Magic Portal.
No, in terms of you have something called a sockexperts.com learning center. Very first day, I think you have been given access. There are some videos over there, technical videos. You need to watch those videos, complete, and you'll be getting the certificate.
I don't get it, sir. But
Oh, your question was related to certificate, right? Where to watch the videos?
no, watch the videos completely.
Yes, that's what, sir. Like the question was, someone, your friend asked how to get a certificate. You need to watch those videos, then you'll get a certificate.
Okay.
Just check in your learning center. You have the access.
It is in the
Okay.
Magic Portal only, right, sir?
No, sir, not in the Magic Portal.
Ah.
So I think it should be there over here. Let me check.
In stockexperts.com, I think so.
Yes, let me give the link
Like,
also. The link is there.
I sent screenshot. It's there.
Super. Thank you, Chandru. And I've given the link also for your easy reference. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Have a good rest of the day. Wish you a best luck for your careers. Okay. So stay connected. Okay. So if you have anything, you can drop a message in the WhatsApp group. Use your WhatsApp group effectively. Thank you. Have a good rest of the day and congratulations and thank you. Bye bye. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Avinash.
Thank
Thank you, Kavya, for all your responses. Thank you.
thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, my friends.
thank you all, and all the best for your future.